Welcome back to the podcast. This is Layla, and today we're discussing how you can use your beauty as warfare and how you can master the art of allure. So, beauty is a form of currency, beauty is a form of power, and the only way to master the art of beauty, of course, there's a lot of physical, tangible things that a woman can do to make herself feel beautiful. But I'm talking about the second part of it, because usually that first part is really mastered by a lot of women. We have a lot of YouTube videos that explain, how to do your makeup and your hair and stuff like that. That is like the physical Venusian aspect of it. Now, if you master that, then of course you're going to be able to attract a lot of people, whether it's for your business, whether as a sugar baby, like whatever your end goal is, okay? Beauty is an attractor. It's going to help you attract the right people. Now, the way to master that is to combine beauty with strategy and boundaries, which is the dark feminine aspect of it, but also I would say there's even like a masculine aspect, but in a way that's like your own personal masculine energy protecting you. Let me give an example. So you're on a date, and of course, if you're on a date with a man, it means that he asked you to be on that date. He pursued you. He initiated contact. He asked for your number. He organized the whole thing. He told you to meet him at, that specific time at that beautiful, luxurious restaurant. And then you get there. And of course, you look gorgeous as usual. You look very elegant. You're very sexy, but also very classy. Now, this is where the game begins, because for men, it is a game. If you don't play the game, then you're going to get played, because we live in a society where we have this prey and predator dynamics. So you have to choose. Do you want to be the prey or do you want to be the predator? Now, you can pretend to be a prey while being the predator, which is what feminine energy is. The way a woman can protect herself and protect her energy with dark feminine energy is by having boundaries. Okay, she needs to know what she tolerates and what she doesn't. And when you're very clear about that, you're going to be filtering a lot of men. If a man wants to claim you, he has to pay all your bills. Regardless of who you are as a woman, regardless of your social, financial status, which should not be shared with a man, you have to lie always. If you're a celebrity, you can lie and say, my media company is taking most of my money. I'm making pennies off of my art or work or whatever. Like, there are so many ways that you can lie, and you have to lie. Because if not, you're going to be attracting abusers, you're going to be attracting users, you're going to be attracting men who pretend to actually like you to get something out of you. So when you have boundaries like, oh, I don't drink on dates, or I only drink one drink, I only have one cocktail or two, but that's it. Like, first of all, you're now vetting this man, because depending on his reaction, now you can choose, do I like this man or not? If you tell a man, I'm not drinking tonight, or I'm only having one glass of wine, or maybe like I'm only having 2 glasses of wine and that's it. If he tries to push your boundary and be like, come on, have more, blah, 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 you know now who you're dealing with. You're dealing with a master manipulator. And now, because he's doing that, he's disrespecting you, and you have to find a way to leave that situation gracefully, but very shortly. You can fake like a family emergency. There are so many ways you can get out of a situation very quickly. If you directly tell him what he's doing. Like, that's the thing. You don't know who you're dealing with. You don't know if he's violent. You don't know if he's armed. Like, there's a lot of things that you don't know about this man. You don't know his past. You don't know if whatever. You don't know him. So the smart thing would be to lie and to find a way to leave that situation. Now, some women are more combative. They're just gonna be like, you know what, you're not respecting my boundaries, I'm leaving. Now the thing is, he might start to see you as a threat, or he might start to like panic. All right, of course he's gonna lie. He's gonna be like, I'm sorry, like give me one more chance, I just like, you know how men do. But of course, don't give him a second chance. He showed you who he is. Why would you give him a second chance? A second chance to like disrespect you again? You know what I'm saying? That's why you shouldn't get emotionally attached to men, because when you're not emotionally attached, you're able to think with your mind and your head in a logical way, just like they are. And you're now playing their game. So these are just examples of boundaries that you can use to vet men. But of course, you know, to each their own. But these are just boundaries that I noticed that men are really respecting. And when a man does respect your boundaries, he's showing you that he actually cares about you. If you tell him, I'm not drinking tonight, and he's not pushing it, then it means he respects you. If you tell him, you know, because that's the thing, you shouldn't be on a date for more, like especially a dinner, like you shouldn't be out for like more than 2 hours. You can say, I have to go to bed soon, you know, I have work tomorrow, I have this, I have that, you know, I have responsibilities, blah, blah, blah. And then you leave. He's going to respect you for having boundaries, for having discipline. And if he tries to like lure you back into his place, then you know what kind of man he is. Like, you have to vet men and filter men from a place of practicality, of being logical, while also playing the Venusian game of looking good, smelling good, you know, not talking too much, you know, asking questions about him, like always put the focus on him to get as much information and data from him. And those techniques, by the way, were used by the one and only Cleopatra. I did an episode, I think, about her, where I explained her warfare strategies, and her warfare strategies were very Venusian. And here's the thing that most people don't know about warfare, is that the goddess Inanna, which is usually the goddess connected to love and fertility and dance and music, lovey-dovey, she's also the goddess of warfare. So in ancient Egypt, men who would go to war, prior to that event, they would go to ancient Egyptian temples to the high priestesses of Inanna, so they can do a ritual and get the favor, basically, of goddess Inanna, of the dark energy, the women, so they could win war and they could win the fight. And so, of course, you know, now it's different. Warfare is more about, you know, having a business now, like that you have to, like an empire, they have to build, create, and protect and expand, right? Scale. Those are just different words, but it's literally the same thing. And back in those days, you know, women had mystery schools, and the mystery school were kept secret, but these were shadow empires. They were huge. They had huge influence, but women were not out there bragging on how much money they were making or whatever, because that was a way to protect themselves, protect the energy of what they're creating. And so this is, I would say the modern thing of that would be faceless marketing, because when you're doing faceless marketing, no one knows who you truly are, but they can also tap into your energy, and you can create an empire basically without people knowing that you have an empire, which is really powerful, because you can pretend now to be the prey, or you can pretend to be whatever you want. You can pretend to be broke, people think it's real. You can pretend that you're only making 30 grand a year, people think it's real. because most of your assets are in a trust fund, a holdings account. These are just modern ways to do that, but it's literally the same thing. So the reason why I'm talking about the more strategic aspects of all of this today is because I know that women have mastered the beauty, physical, Venusian aspect of that. Like, as a woman, if you take a little bit of time on yourself, like, you know which perfume you like, you know which colors you like more on yourself, and which ones get the most impact when you go out. Like, you know how to dress like a goddess. You know that. But you have to combine this with strategy, because if you're only doing the Venusian aspect of it, then it means that you don't know your power, you're not mastering it, and therefore you're going to have people preying on that. They're going to prey and try to harvest that Venusian energy, or even siphon that Venusian energy for their own benefits. And so it's really important to balance the two. So and to never get comfortable with men, never, because think about it, a lot of them are very good because they've been doing that since they were a kid. You know, they've been working on that ego, on that persona of, you know, being very charismatic, very manipulative. A lot of men are very good liars. They're so good they're so good at what they're doing that they even believe their own lies. That's how good they are, you know? And so it's a practice for women, because women naturally have this emotional aspect of them, usually to connect with their children, right? But that has to be protected. That has to be sent towards children and pets only, not men. Because first of all, men do not value and appreciate love. First of all, they're going to use it and they're going to discard it, and they're going to use multiple women at the same time, and they're very good at hiding it. You know, a lot of men have this like social appearance of being a father, or, you know, a CEO of a company. Some men actually just get married just for the appearances. That's it. Because they know that it helps them to get more business. It helps them to, if they're a politician, they know that they're going to get elected. If they have a wife and kids, that's it. That's like how rational men are. And for women, it's such a different thing, right? But we cannot expect men to be like women. It doesn't make sense. They have never been, and they never will be. They're never going to be like women. So, by combining your Venusian power and being strategic in a way that is silent, strategically silent, but at the same time, the only thing you have to be vocal is about your boundaries. I'm not doing that. No, I actually don't feel like I'm in a committed relationship unless a man pays everything and some more, and gives me an allowance, and gives me a new car, gives me a piece of land. Like, I just don't feel safe or committed to a man if I don't have all those things. And of course, there are men that are going to be like, who do you think you are? You're never going to find that. You're going to have men telling you all these things, maybe or maybe not, you know, but whatever. Those things are made to filter men and to vet them. Yeah, and that's how you work with nature, basically. That's literally how you work in alignment with nature. So let me know if you have any questions, if you want me to expand on something specific, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.